Well, good morning, everyone. For those of you I haven't met, my name is Mark Hadley. I'm the managing director here at the Dallas Theater Center, and it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to this historic occasion where we get to announce to you the next artistic director of the Dallas Theater Center. Thank you so much for being here, and I want to extend a very special welcome to everyone who's watching us via our live simulcast on the Dallas Theater Center website. So hello, world. The Dallas Theater Center is at a watershed moment in its history. For 48 years, we've been producing live theater of the highest artistic quality for the citizens of Dallas and for the entire Metroplex. For the last 15 years, Richard Hamburger has given tremendous artistic leadership to this institution, but Richard is stepping down at the end of this month. As we think about the future, we are nothing but exhilarated. In a very, very short period of time, the Dallas Theater Center will become the resident tenant of this amazing building here. By my calculation, the grand opening of this building will be in 864 days. But who's really counting, right? But right after the opening, we will begin producing plays in this state-of-the-art, one-of-a-kind building, and we promise to produce productions that will take full advantage of its unprecedented flexibility and its technological innovations. And so with all of these exciting changes on the horizon, it became obvious to the Board of the Trustees of the Dallas Theater Center that they needed a very special and particular artistic leader to guide us through not only this transition, but once we're in the building, to take us to new heights. And so the Board of Trustees, as headed up by John Howell, chair of the board, formed a search committee. And Life Trustee Bess Enlow agreed to chair this committee. And I must tell you that it was only through Bess's astute leadership of this committee and her tireless shepherding of the process over the last 6 months that we're able to share this thrilling news with you here today. So I'm going to turn it over to John, who's going to tell you a little bit about our search process and then introduce the new artistic director of the Dallas Theater Center.
Thank you, Mark. Good morning. As Mark indicated, I'm the chair of the Board of the Trustees of the Dallas Theater Center, and I have found that this job, like parenting, is a series of, shall we say, challenges. But there are occasional bright spots that make it all worthwhile, and this is really one of those bright spots. It is my privilege and pleasure to introduce to you the new artistic director of the Dallas Theater Center. Now, an opportunity like this doesn't come along very often. As many of you know, the new artistic director will be only the 5th artistic director that we've had in the nearly 50-year history of our institution. So we approach this opportunity very carefully. As Mark indicated, Bess Enlow, a longtime supporter, Life Trustee, agreed to head the search process. And she's here for any specific questions you may have about the search process. But in summary, we formed a search committee. It's consisted of 14 trustees with a wide variety of backgrounds and views and interests, and 2 outside advisors, Bill Lively, head of the Performing Arts Center here, and Jerome Weeks, former theater critic for the Dallas Morning News. We conducted an extensive national search with the assistance of Albert Hall & Associates, a preeminent theater executive search firm. We were advised by Albert Hall & Associates that this would be a very attractive position, that a combination of the history and the reputation of the Dallas Theater Center and the arts community in Dallas would be attractive, and they were right. We had overwhelming response from a variety of candidates with a broad range of experiences. We determined we were looking for somebody with a strong reputation for artistic excellence and visionary programming. But we also wanted somebody who would be an institutional leader for our staff and somebody who shared our commitment to serving the community and to nurturing a culture of collaboration and inclusion. And we think we found that person. Our new artistic director has a multifaceted background. He has been artistic director for the celebrated Hangar Theater in Ithaca, New York for the past 7 years. For the past 5 years, he has also been an associate director at the Trinity Repertory Company, which is a Tony Award-winning regional theater in Providence, Rhode Island. As part of a nationally recognized consortium between Trinity Rep and Brown University, he founded and has headed the MFA directing program at Brown University for these past 5 years. He's renowned for his artistic range and for the variety of programming that he brings to his theaters. He loves the classics, has a personal goal of directing all 37 Shakespeare plays. I didn't know there were that many, but I will probably find out. He's got a strong background in music and has directed many musicals that are fun for the entire family. He is well known as a bringer of world premieres to the stage and has developed a growing reputation in that area. So we are thrilled to bring to Dallas this combination of artistic excellence, experience, and enthusiasm. So without further ado, let me introduce to you the Dallas Theater Center's new artistic director, Kevin Moriarty.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to thank Bess Enlow and the search committee for their dedicated, tireless service throughout this process. I want to thank John Howell and the Board of Trustees for their deep commitment to and belief in our community here in Dallas and the power of theater in our lives in this community. And I want to thank Mark Hadley and the staff of the Dallas Theater Center, which for the past 15 years working with Richard Hamburger have created great art on the stage at the Cleta Humphreys Theater, and with whom I am thrilled and honored to be working in the years ahead. This is an incredibly exciting time for the arts here in Dallas. We are on the edge of something truly remarkable in this city, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make the arts at the absolute center of the city of Dallas and at the center of the lives of the citizens in our community. This is vital for the very survival of the democracy that we all cherish. We live in a world today where we're connected less and less with each other personally, and more by cell phones and computers and TiVos, where we live in a world more and more isolated from each other in an immediate human way. Theater is the antidote to that isolation. The theater has the power and the potential to serve as a public square, as the space in a democracy where all of the citizens come together to tell shared stories, to celebrate our common values, to experience empathy for each other's experiences and points of views and stories. For a democracy to flourish, we have to know each other, respect each other, and even love each other enough to entrust our fellow citizens with the power to help determine our collective future. Theater has the power to directly engage us in a shared room with live human beings in that quest. And the Wiley Theater is going to be the showcase home for this dialogue. It will literally be a monument to the power of this communicative experience that we're all going to share together in the many years ahead. Now, I'm going to start my tenure here in September, but by the time I arrive, the 2007-08 season will already be underway. The Theater Center's Associate Director, David Kennedy, has worked alongside Mark to plan the next season. The plays have been chosen, and they will already be well underway and in capable hands, with David serving as a leading producer on those productions for the next year. That will allow me, when I arrive in September, to immediately engage with the community itself, to meet as many members in the community, to spend as much time as possible seeing the wide variety of great theater that's happening all across the Metroplex, to be able to engage with the many world-class arts organizations that are here in Dallas, to be able to attend and meet with the leaders and the members of the symphony and the opera and the ballet and the world-class visual arts museums that are here. It's going to give me the opportunity to meet with the leaders of the educational institutions in our community. I've already had the opportunity to briefly meet with Dean Bowen at the Meadow School at SMU, an amazing school and an amazing university that I'm very much looking forward to exploring new ways that we can collaborate and combine our great world-class resources together in the shared interest of the students and the theater itself. I'm eager to get to know the students and the faculty at the Booker T. Washington High School, which will be our new next-door neighbor when we move into the Arts District. I'm eager to spend time with our world-class educational programs that the theater already has in place, and I'm looking forward to find ways to expand our reach into the community so that we can connect with every elementary, middle school, and high school student in this community. This time period, getting to know this amazing, thriving, diverse community here in Dallas, will allow me to have the knowledge that I need, the experience that I need, the connections that I need to help craft a season, working alongside the staff and the board, that will speak to the needs of our community. What I know already, even before beginning those dialogues, is that there will be a few guiding principles that we will adhere to and do our best to live up to on a daily basis in the years ahead. We are going to create theater that is bold and diverse and expansive. We are going to make plays at the Dallas Theater Center that are as bold and muscular and immediate and compelling and theatrical as the city of Dallas and its citizens are. We are going to put on our stage actors and stories that reflect the faces and experience of every single member of our community. We are going to create, over the course of a single season, a series of stories that will reflect experiences of high school students all the way up through senior citizens, people of every racial and ethnic background, people of different classes and beliefs and experiences, so that coming to the theater is a reflection of and a celebration of our community here in Dallas. And we are going to create a theater that is welcoming for every single person in our community, a theater that is truly of the people and by the people and for the people at the center of this great city. That means that among the works that we will be doing, we will be celebrating and reinterpreting and coming freshly to the great classics of world literature. Throughout the history of Western civilization, starting back with the Greeks in Athens, the very birthplace of democracy, which is also the birthplace of theater. Same time, same place. From those first Greek tragedians through Shakespeare and Chekhov and Molière and Brecht, there have been writers who have touched something deep within the human experience that is worth reminding ourselves of. As a leading arts organization in this community, it's vital that we continue to reinvestigate the classics and make them fresh and compelling and relevant and dynamic and meaningful as they reflect on our own lives today. But it is also equally vital that we celebrate the works of living writers and that we bring those great writers from across the country to Dallas, that we develop their voices and that we produce new plays and new musicals on our stage, so that we have living writers engaged with our citizens in this community to craft stories directly for and with them. In turn, those stories that we craft, those world premieres, those new plays that we celebrate, will go on from Dallas as they reflect our experience, and they will change the face of the American theater across the United States as they're performed at theaters across the country and contribute our voice in Dallas to a vital, ongoing national dialogue. It's also a value that we share, that we have, that we want to celebrate our common shared values, that we want the theater at times to be a place for the entire family, that we want to celebrate musicals that will allow us to be astonished and to laugh, and that will allow us to be awed by the power of the performers who can sing and dance and celebrate those values that we share in common. From those bold, dynamic, vital contemporary plays to the joyful experience of musicals, to the reinvestigation of great classic texts. We are determined that the Dallas Theater Center is going to make an indelible mark in our community and in the theater community throughout the United States. It is with immense humility, a deep sense of pride, and mostly a sense of hope and adventure that I look forward to collaborating with the many great artists in this city and the dynamic leadership of the board and the staff as we move into that glorious future. Thank you.
Well, it has been our distinct pleasure to be here in front of you today. Thank you so much for being here. And we will see you in the fall when Kevin returns. He begins officially on September 4th. So that's when his tenure takes over. And so we look forward to seeing you again in the fall. Thank you for being here.